Hey, it's Sizzling Popcorn, and this is a special video. Just want to let you know, as of this morning, crossed over 3,000 subscribers, and I want to thank you very much for subscribing. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, well, it's now your chance to subscribe. But very thankful for this. It's been a while, but at the same time, I also know this is just the beginning. Um, the channel's been around for about 7 years. When I started the channel, it was more so sports management and simulation games. So like your NHL, I don't know what it was, like NHL 18 or 17. I was doing like a franchise mode or Project Hospital, running a hospital. And actually, just in the last week, I dabbled into that a little bit, and it makes for some quite interesting conversations with my wife because she's a nurse, and on the medical side, she's like, "Hey, that's exactly what I do." But other games like that, and I also had some iRacing. But then fast forward to August of 2020, I had an advanced copy of Flight Simulator, and at that point, I had about 300 subscribers. Well, that's when the channel started to blow up, and I had within a couple of weeks, I had another two, three, 400 subscribers, and then the following June, that's when I was able to monetize the channel because I had over 1,000 subscribers. And that's even with, I think, a break because my daughter, yeah, my daughter was born at the, trying to think about the past, and it's like all these, because yeah, that's all during COVID. So yes, my daughter was born, and so I took some time off. Then I came back. The channel got monetized. Then later that year, I was at FS Expo in San Diego. That was just crazy. And then, but yeah, the channel just kept building up. There was times where there was all sorts of different stuff, and then I think probably in 2022 is when I just cut everything. I cut everything but Flight Simulator, and then I was like, yeah, but I want to go racing. Like for me, I've got to have some change. If I'm doing the same thing, then it feels like like work, like a job, where it's just like the same repetitive stuff. So I did that, and then I saw more growth, and but I was still like even when it came to over to the December into the new year, it was like I'm getting like tired of the same stuff over and over again. And then in February, I was like, hey, I want to go racing again. Let's bring racing back to the channel. And then I mostly focus on racing. And then I was like, well, but the thing is, compared to Flight Simulator, my audience, you guys, aren't watching really the racing stuff. But in June, I put a flight sim video, and that like just took off a lot quicker than the iRacing. And then I was like, all right, it's time to go back to just stick to this channel, flight sim. So flight sim doesn't matter whether we're in the Microsoft Flight Simulator or into DCS, it's flight sim. X-Plane, I'm sorry, but I've that ship has sailed a long time ago, and if you enjoy X-Plane, that's completely fine. Just I've tried it, and like to me, when it's two simulators doing the same thing, I don't like to have be doing the same thing in two different environments. Although DCS is different because DCS is military stuff, and really military stuff in Flight Simulator, quite frankly, is boring because there's no the systems aren't like as in depth as DCS, but also you can't fire weapons. Nothing can explode. Yes, you could probably get some mods or whatever to do something, but it's not native, and it's not going to really happen with Microsoft Flight Simulator. If they make a combat simulator, hey, great. So now getting to that point, it's now things have started to move and shake, because for me to get 10,000 views on a video used to be like very, very tough. But then I don't know, July I put out a video, and it was I think it was a news piece. I know it's probably right in front of my face right now on the screen. I think it was if we go actually down here to popular videos, it was this one. So it was the 2024 update. Well, that video ended up taking off like a rocket right off the get-go. And I think I had like 5,000-6,000 views within 24 hours. And I was like, wow, okay. Like, yes, the last time I ever had like a big video was the Thrustmaster Boeing yoke in San Diego. But then I followed this up with a couple of weeks later. So 5 days ago. So that was 2 weeks. 5 days ago, I did this, do these 3 easy steps after each MSFS update, and it's at 20,000. Well, within 24 hours, I was at 6,000. So I was like, okay, I'm now starting to see what people want, because, in the past, like just doing I'm going to fly at Gary at Chicago. Well, not everybody cares about Gary Chicago Airport. Like it's like super niche. Like we're already niche in the flight simulator, but then now we're going like super niche. I've done those flights, but those types of flights, that's like a live stream, like or a community event. Let's go to this obscure airport and let's take a look at it, that kind of stuff. But then where you're now going to start seeing things is now I'm getting more and more confident, although it's been 4 years, but it's been on and off. And really, there's people that have taught me stuff over the year. There's definitely people I can list like a good 30 people at least that have taught me stuff in Flight Simulator. But like I've never really gone through a course, like someone sitting down and say, hey, this is what you should do, but not just what you should do, why? Because the thing is when you get that why, you then understand, okay, this is important and this is why. And if something does change, well, you're able to adapt to it because you know the reasoning behind it. So, but without why, it's just, okay, well, the make do and the A320. Well, this is what you do. Click, 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 click. But if you then start to understand the why, it not only helps you to understand it, but it also helps you to retain that information down the road. So talking about the McDo, because the A319 and 21 came out just recently from Phoenix, I'm going to start doing more and more tutorials, because if we look here at the what's popular, what people have been watching is well, there's the hardware stuff, but it's also hardware news, reviews of airport, but it's the tutorials like PMDG 737, how to permanently remove the stairs. And then I actually have an updated one which is right here. So it's got less views because this one came out before the other one. But that's where the channel is going, and we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it going forward. Flight simulation only, but it's everything that's revolves around it. And I've got some ideas of like some like actual like flight videos that I might try. We'll see if you like them. But where it's almost like general aviation. We're going to fly backcountry in Idaho, because I watched Trent Palmer the other day, and he was in the backcountry. Well, his video shows of him and the guys going out flying and landing, but then they go fishing. I'm like, can we do this in a simulator? I bet we can. Yes, it will involve some other simulators, but the whole premise is flight simulator. But it's bringing those other simulators, injecting that in to make it a video of not just me flying around, but there's like a story to it, and that's what people like. But all of this to say, I want to thank you. Because at the beginning of the month, I was at it was like I probably had about 350 subscribers to go to get to 3,000, and I was like, well, my goal is to get to 3,000. And my vidIQ was saying, well, to get to 3,000, it's going to take you until June, the end of June of next year. I'm like, no, it's happening this month. So growth has been like exponential right now, and I just want to build upon that. And my other goal, as I told Marsh, is by the end of the year, I want to be at 5,000. Well, today, as we cross 3,000, now we're like at 3,011 or something. Like, just from this morning, like it's already been like 10 subscribers for the day, and we're not even halfway through the day. But the vidIQ said 5,200 is your next goal, and you're going to do it by November 15th. I'm like, oh, well, now it's getting a little gutsy. I'm like, okay. So that's, I want 5,000 by the end of the year. We'll work on that. You can help me out by spreading the word, but I'm just going to try to build out some videos that are very useful, because really sometimes just a flying video could be fine, because there might be something in there that I might teach or bring up. And when I mean teach, like, yes, flight sim, I've been around it for, well, I've flown since FS 95 and 98, but FS 95, 98, I think 2001, FSX, then also X-Plane 9, 10, and 11. All of those flight simulators put all together, because I remember with FS 98, we bought it, and my brother and I, we also got a plane maker. We never really used a plane maker because we didn't even know what we were doing, let alone the simulator itself. All those simulators all put together, I've got about 20 hours. Then when Flight Simulator 2020 came out, I think within the first week or two, I was like, I've blown that way out of the water. But so yeah, getting back on target here. Going forward, you're going to see a lot of tutorials. I'm going to try to make videos that are useful, and then that go beyond some of the videos that are already out there. So just to give you something a little bit more beyond the basics, I guess. And the other thing is now coming up to like Christmas is actually not that far down the road. We'll look at seeing if we can, if there's going to be any hardware products that come out, and see if we can test them out. But I might actually, some of the stuff that I've had that hasn't worked in the past, but I'm actually looking here. I see a Velocity 1 flight that actually works. But I've got like the latest like flight stick. Well, when it came out, there was like no profiles, so a lot of buttons still not working. We'll take a look at those and see, okay, is it now working? Is it worth it? Because we're now coming up to Christmas time. If you're looking for something, we'll look at some of those options. And but yeah, I just want to make this channel useful, and at the same time, I don't want to take more of your time right now with useless fluff. But if you want to also help out the channel, help support the channel, well, if you're subscribed, great. Thank you very much. If you're watching the videos, liking, commenting, that's great. If you want to go beyond that, you could always become a YouTube channel member. There are 3 tiers, and I haven't really made a video on that. I've taken the old video. I think that was at 1,000 subscribers. But there's 3 tiers now. You can take a look at the options. I'll get a video later on. Soon I'll get a video to explain that. But yeah, that's another way that you can help out. The other thing is using any of the affiliate links that are in the descriptions or like anywhere around the channel. Oh, and talking about this, if you stayed around up until now, I got some other good news. So Sizzling Popcorn, originally I was a film critic back in 2008. And I had the website sizzlingpopcorn.com from 2008 till so February of 2008 to February of 2010. So it was 2 years. But I stopped. I had this big epiphany March 3rd of 2009. And so then I completely just let the site go. And then even after, and the thing is, what I was leaving, I had like 60,000 views, readers a month on the channel, or actually, it wasn't a channel. It was just written stuff on sizzlingpopcorn.com. Well, April of 2010, it became some Chinese website or Korean website, because I went back to it, and it was all like in characters. So I had always been looking at it to say, hey, what if I ever got that back? Could I ever get it back? Well, in 2020, they let up the domain name, and I went to check, and it became a premium domain name. So it was going to cost me $6,000 to pay one time to get the right to buy it, or like, because then you still have to pay your domain fees on an annual basis. So 6,000 Canadian plus that. And I was like, what? No way. I'm like, I'm the one really that built that domain to that point. And I regret like that I never sold it. I just let it go. But the thing with that is just the other day I was doing some YouTube competitive analysis, and I saw a couple of websites. And like, yeah, it'd be good to have a website. I do have sizzlingpopcorn.ca. The other thing is I'm looking at starting a weekly newsletter, email newsletter. We'll get more information on that later. But so I then went back to GoDaddy. And the other thing is the $6,000. I was like, well, is this a GoDaddy thing? Well, it didn't matter where I went to go buy the domain. It was a premium domain. and it was going to be like 6,000 Canadian. So just the other day, I looked, and what did I see? $1 for the first year on a 3-year contract, and it's not a premium domain anymore. It's like it's open. I'm like, take it. I'm grabbing it and I'm running with it. So sizzlingpopcorn.com is back in my hands for the next 3 years, and most likely beyond, probably until I'm dead. It will be in my hands. But yeah, so that's the big news if you stayed along until this point. But yeah, so channel A is not going anywhere. B, we're bringing its focus on flight simulation and weather into different flight simulators. That's fine. That's like really it's up to what in the end what I like. Like, I'm not going to go into infinite flight just because it's a flight simulator. Like, no, it's like stop. We keep within flight simulation, but you understand what I mean. Then C, it's pretty much going to be doing. We got the live streams, but going to be doing some more tutorials, especially on the airliners. But I also want to do some on some general aviation, because I find there's not much of it out there for general aviation. There's a lot of big streamers that are on the airliners, but I'd like to go also down to general aviation, because that's where a lot of things become manual. And when you go to the airliner, well, like your VORs and all that kind of stuff, you really don't need to use that. You just press a couple of buttons, autopilot, and your PMDG 777 will get you to the airport. And then that's where, to me, it gets boring, is that time from top of climb to top of descent. That's all the boring part for me. So working on that. And then I'm trying to do a recap of all this, and I ended up, I'm making a bigger thing. But yeah, ways that you can support. Again, if you already subscribed, thank you. If you're not, well, the button's right there, right around this video right now. The other thing is liking, commenting, engaging. You can also join the Discord. The Discord server, we're bringing back community flights. So come join us. Those are more so general aviation. But yeah, that's that. And then you can also become a channel member, or use any of the affiliate links, like the Contrail one, where you get 10% off your whole order at Contrail. And that's only good on your one per customer. But there is a 10% coupon. It's all over the channel. So if you haven't found it yet, just look a little bit more and you might find it there. But again, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks. We're up to over the 3,000 subscribers and many more. Again, this is just the beginning, and I'll see you in the next video. See you then.